for the people who just tuned in to the intro song, shout out to Mel. Shout out to Mel, my producer. I just want to let everyone know I cannot stand that song.
I am so sorry.
WAP with Cardi B and Meg Thee Stallion. Shout out to those two rappers. I think they got good bars, especially Cardi B. I'm not really into Meg Thee Stallion that much. She got bars though. You know, for me, I look at it, and I wasn't even gonna talk about it, but I'm gonna be honest. Like, when we talk about hip hop, right? The evolution of it, and it's certainly an evolution. The question remains, and you could say this not just in hip hop, but in music in general. Whatever happened to subtlety? Whatever happened to slow moving, romance, love, and all that kind of stuff? You know what happened to that, Mel? Now it's just throat baby and WAP and all these like it.
Trifling music.
Music did not used to mean this. You know, we used to have singers like the Temptations, and I know I'm going real old school, and you know, I wasn't even around when these musicians were in their prime, but still, we had great music. We had people like Frank Sinatra, and I know people like Frank. We got Frank, yes, Frank Sinatra. We had Frank Sinatra. We had Nat King Cole. We had Sam Cooke. Change is gonna come. What happened? What happened to music?
It's not the same. It really isn't. It's not the same no more. Since from me growing up, it's like you knew what they were saying, but you didn't know. You know, but now these kids know what you're saying.
It's just out there, and it's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah, kids actually know.
I honestly, I cannot. It's like watching a porno. I'm gonna be honest. Like,
basically, at the end of the day,
I was watching. I'm an old movie buff, right? Old movie buff, and Cary Grant's my favorite actor of all time, because he always got the girl. He looked good. He looked dressed. He was dressed. He was flashy. He was fly. But it was a movie that he made that he was a part of. It was called Indiscreet. It was with Ingrid Bergman in 1958, and they had a scene together where they were about to make love, and what ended up happening was they were at the door. They looked into each other's eyes with passion, with love for one another, right? They went into the house, and they closed the door, and the camera panned away from the door, and you knew what was happening, but there was something special about that moment. It was the guessing game. It wasn't right in front of you. You didn't have to see it. And in today's arena, whether it's in music, whether it's in television, whether it's in movies, now I know the 70s, they went all crazy. That's when it really started, the 70s. And I blame that. I don't even like that era of movies outside of The Godfather, really. You got The Godfather Part 1 and Part 2. Obviously, great movies, one of my favorite movies of all time. But outside of that, I mean, I love the music in the 70s and 80s, particularly the 80s. But the movies, it just seemed like the 70s in particular for movies, you saw this change, this dip of this sexuality, and the openness. There was even nakedness in kids. That actress that was Michael Jackson's friend, Mel Brooke or something like that. Brooke Shields. Brooke Shields was naked in 13 in the movie. Like,
what movie is that?
In the 70s. It was like some movie in the 70s. I forgot what it was called. I checked it out. I remember renting it one time, and I was like, yo, what in the world? I think one of them was the Blue Lagoon. One was the Blue Lagoon, I believe. And there was another one where it was like some sort of comedy. And I'm like, bro, what's going on with this? This is like some weird, freaky stuff. Right. I do not like that. Like, what is going on with that? Period. Like, it's just disgusting. I believe that's what happened. But for me, I believe in subtlety. Now, I know that ultimately we're never going to ever go back to the 60s in films, and rightfully so in some respects, because we have to take the good and the bad in the films, because obviously in the 50s, 60s, and 70s, you didn't see great black actors have power like they do now. I remember listening to a Different Worlds documentary, and the great Diane Carroll was listening to Jasmine Guy, and Jasmine Guy was complaining about a certain thing that was going on with the production. And Diane Carroll said, I've been in the business for over 30 years, and I've never seen a black creator, black production, black actors, black directors all in the same arena making something happen. This was in the 90s when this happened. This is when you got to see power, and we still need, for black people and for minorities in general, okay, in Hollywood, there needs to be more ownership, especially in the production. But we're seeing it more in creation of art. You see, a lot of those blaxploitation films, and I know we had the Gordon Parks and the Gordon Park Juniors of the world, and the Sidney Poitiers and the Bill Cosbys, if you will, who made great 70s content, right? But outside of them, if you look at some of the blaxploitation films, a lot of them were directed by white directors, which is fine. But I think for someone to get the essence of the culture, right, there needs to be that strong, there needs to be leadership that is African American. If you're going to make an African American story, there needs to be a strong input and influence from African Americans. They need to have their hand in that pot. That's what I believe. Now, that doesn't mean that if we were to make a Latin film, that means we can't have any foot in it. But I'm just saying, like, everyone should have something in a pie. Like, if you want to create something that's different from you, that's fine. But you need to recognize and respect, and also put ownership with people who look differently from you, especially if you're creating something that's another culture, period. Whether it's an Italian movie with the mafia or business or whatever, obviously with an Italian movie, it shouldn't just be about the mafia, because there's more about Italian culture than mafioso type stuff. Just like in black movie culture, there should be more discussed than just thugging it out, or baby mama drama, or baby daddy drama, and all this kind of stuff that doesn't make any sense. That's not black culture. It's is there parts of that in black culture? Sure, absolutely. But there's more to black culture than that. That's why shows like A Different World resonated with so many people. That's why shows like The Cosby Show. No, and I get that The Cosby Show is tainted, and I get the fact that Bill Cosby, and I acknowledge that. I acknowledge that we might not ever look at Bill Cosby the same. But you cannot deny what that brother did for black people and for all people. He, at one point, whether you like it or not, was America's dad. Mm-hmm. At one point, kids said, I want to be like Cliff Huxtable, period. I don't care what nobody thinks. That's a fact. What he represented was something masculine, was something loving, was a caring father, was an educated man, was a loving man to his wife and to his kids. That was real. Mm-hmm. Now, some people didn't like it because they said, oh, you could put a white face in it and all this kind of... No, there are some black families who do the same thing. And we need to have those images. If you watch me, you know black male image is important. Black female image is important. What Claire Huxtable represents is something so unique, so special, but also something that you see in black women all the time. You see the elegance, the brilliance, the charisma of Felicia Rashad in black women all the time. Too much of today's media, they try to focus on this quote-unquote ratchetness of our culture. And that's not all what our culture is about. Our culture is excellence. Our culture is pride. Our culture is history. Not just the history that they teach us in school, but the history beyond that. The Adam Clayton Powells of the world, the Asa Philip Randolphs, but also the local leaders in those time periods that stood up and made sacrifices so people like me and you, whoever's watching, can make great things happen. That's what movies, television need to be about. Not just this ratchetness that's on TV today. We need to stop just making movies. And I love mafioso movies. I love gangster movies. But we are more than that. And we need to put that out more in a way where all people can watch and understand and enjoy and like. Because at the end of the day, so many people, they still view black Americans from what they get from TV. And if they do get their perspective from black Americans from TV, then the black people who make content should realize that, and we should make a more universal perspective of what black America looks like. Not just, and it should be all sides, not just a part, it should be everything. And that includes some of the stuff that's being made now. Absolutely, that's fine. I'm cool with that. Everything that's been put out, that's fine. But there also needs to be the other side. There needs to be the Democrat, there needs to be the Republican, and they need to be shown in a respect that's not degrading. Because at the end of the day, those people are still black. They're still human beings. Whether or not you agree or disagree with them, they're still an American. If you're from America, you're an American. Okay? So and people, that means people have the right to choose, they have the right to debate, they have the right to believe in what they want to believe, right or wrong. And all I'm saying is that it is, in my opinion, that we do a better job of showing positive images. Positive images. That's what I believe, and that's what I'm gonna say when I. That's a lot for when it comes into that WAP. That WAP got me fired up.
I know not to play that next time.
That WAP song got me fired up. You know what I mean? You know, I love women.
But it allowed you to share your feelings and about the song.
Yeah.
Maybe you never expressed it how you expressed it until you had to hear it. That's true. Then bam,
there it goes.
It just brought out this sudden urge that you just had to get your point across, because music has changed. It really has.
Yeah.
It really has.
Yeah, and I just want there to be a balance. There needs to be a greater balance that needs to happen.
That and all the rapping about the bitches and hoes, and that's why now I think because growing up back in the days in music, it wasn't men calling us bitches and hoes, and because now they got women calling each other that. Women wasn't calling each other bitches and hoes and all this stuff.
Now it's an empowering thing.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And it's because which is I don't get this. Okay, a woman won't get mad at a man for calling her a bitch, but will be quick to fight a female who called her a bitch.
Really?
Yes.
I thought it was the other way around.
As in, no, when I was growing up, when we started, because like I said, we did not, females did not call each other bitches. But when the men started calling us bitches, and then we accept the shit, thinking that, oh, that's cute, that's funny. Now all of a sudden, when the women do it, I think it just made women start disrespecting each other, because we give so much love to men, and we don't care if they call us bitches and hoes or sluts and prostitutes. We don't care. We still gonna get with them, have babies by them. We still gonna do whatever we want to get with that man. Doesn't matter what they call us. But as soon as a woman do it, oh, we ready to fight. Now women are at war with each other, simply calling each other bitches and hoes. And growing up, one of my friends started calling us bitches, and we looking at her me and my other friend no,
you can't say it.
we don't call each other bitches, because we don't do that. You know what I'm saying? She came from a whole different school, so whatever school she came from, that's what they were doing. But then when she transferred to our school, we wasn't calling each other bitches.
Right. It's
so the music needs to really. I guess that's how they get paid, to keep the division in our in our generation, and to keep us divided, So they have to say those things in order for the sales for them to make money off of it. But I wish it was not like that.
Well, you make an interesting point, actually, because, during the 90s, that we were all about, not we, I mean, I can't say we, I say African Americans because I was a baby.
Yeah.
When the 90s was happening. I was born in 94. Now, for the listeners
that
are young,
14.
when the listeners who are young, they're like, 94, wow, you old. That was a whole nother century ago. What? But, nonetheless, the 90s R&B, rap, especially rap, in my opinion, even more than R&B, rap was an empowering thing. If you look at some of the great rap artists, and my uncle's gonna kill me for this. What's the brother's name? KRS-One. I should know that immediately off the
See,
bat.
they didn't rap about bitches and hoes and stuff.
No, they didn't.
Them and EPMD. Who else?
Even LL Cool J didn't.
LL, yes.
LL. Well,
Cool Mo D.
they didn't.
They did not. You did not hear them.
It started.
Will Smith. None of them said bitches and hoes.
Well, I say this about Will. And
he was an R&B.
No, he was a rapper. No, he was a rapper. And that's actually leads to my next topic, actually.
Oh, okay.
But, guys like that, they stood for something, and Will, for the most part,
morals.
Will, for the most part, and I believe Will had that because he grew up in a Christian background, because he grew up in a self-respecting background, a family who had strong morals. And it's funny too, because now he's saying that he had to remove that Christian lens to be free, right? Mm-hmm. It's interesting, but you're right. At the end of the day, rap used to mean something, and it still does to a point. I don't want to take everything away because there's still great rap artists.
After that Rodney King beating,
well, I think
in the early 90s,
I think Tupac and Biggie they were rapping about. They were like one of the first mainstream, I feel like, who were, because even Heavy D wouldn't curse.
None of that, rap. Yeah.
But like I believe like when Tupac took over the scene and he had a whole different type of style, Jay-Z, Biggie, that's when they started, saying that. But it was fresh, it was raw, and it was something that was disrespectful, yeah, and then NWA a little bit too. You know what I'm saying?
NWA,
sure.
all that came along, Easy and all them. Like I said, once the Rodney King stuff started happening, and then in their world, they were still struggling and impoverished and going through what they were going through, and then all of a sudden it just from because what happened to your Rakims and then your EPMDs and your LL Cool J's, like it was good music, but it wasn't hard. It wasn't that gangster music. I mean,
Kid and Play had that issue. I mean, Kid and Play basically essentially retired, and I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, you okay? Actually. That's fine.
So I'm gonna let you finish your point, and then I'm gonna add.
No, go ahead, because I don't lost my train of thought now.
Okay,
it is okay. It's okay. Wrong. This is your show.
I think Kid and Play had that same issue, and they rapped about it too. And that song "Too Hype," where they said they not soft, but they're not soft, they're not hard. They're like in that middle ground. But I think they had ultimately had that issue. And then you also had rappers who spoke out against that hard gangster type of rap, like Common and Ice Cube had a huge beef, but ultimately, as much of a Common fan that I am, right, and I'm more of a Common fan than an Ice Cube fan. No, as a rap, I actually like Common's music as much as like Ice Cube.
Common's music is more like the conscious.
Right. I mean, that's more my style.
He's that conscious rapper.
I'm more of a conscious type rapper.
And he's laid back.
I mean, excuse me, I'm not more of a conscious type rapper. I'm more of a conscious type listener. I'm not a rapper. I'm not a rapper. I'm not trying to rap. I don't know how to rap. Do not, if you beatboxing around me, I'm be listening. I'm not gonna be trying to make no kind of music, no kind of way. But like that's it used to mean something. But I think programming has something to do with it. Like even with that B word that you mentioned.
Yeah.
Before I move on to my next topic about Will Smith, but I think the same way women tried to take over that word, same way we try to take over the N word, right? And so for me, we're producing this film called Cans. I like to call it Cans, but it's really Can a Nigga Do Shakespeare? But what we're gonna do is we're gonna say Cans because we're not we trying to get the investors in. We trying to make it the money, so we're gonna call it Cans. But really, it's an acronym for Can a Nigga Do Shakespeare, and it's about the life and times of Craig Scott, who actually was on the radio show.
A couple weeks back.
Yeah, probably about a month or two ago. Yeah. It's been a month almost, a month or two.
Yeah, it was about a month. Yeah, early August.
Yeah, so we're gonna.
I need to be in that film.
Yeah, he's a great guy. He's
Tell him.
Yeah, we're gonna start filming next week. Actually, next Wednesday.
Really? At what time? Cause I got a show at 6 that day. No,
we're gonna start filming at 9:30 on Wednesday in High Point.
9:30 in the morning.
9:30 at night.
Oh, hopefully
9:30 at night.
Over.
9:30 at night in High Point.
See if I can get out.
I ain't gonna say the address, but
I need to be there.
You need to be there.
Yeah, I mean, I need to park now.
It's in a gym. That's all I'm gonna say.
I need a part. Tell her hook me up with a part.
It's more.
Give me a little line.
I'm not gonna give too much.
Okay.
I'm not gonna give too much.
We're gonna wait.
But we're gonna start shooting in October.
Y'all, you need to holler at me.
All right, I'm gonna holler at you. But it's more so of like the same thing about like internalizing the word nigga. And I know that this is a controversial word. Even me saying it. Oh my gosh, he actually said nigga on air.
Yeah, my grandpa hated that. He did not. He was like, why y'all say that word? And now that I like reflect back on it, I see why he didn't like it, because he was born in 1912.
That's exactly.
And that's it. You know, I don't have to explain
you don't.
Why he didn't like it.
You don't.
But I think us as black folks, even though that's not our nationality, we're not black. That's not a nationality. We are American nationals, American Indian. But anyways, I think we embraced it because that was something that the others, I'm gonna call them the others,
Caucasians.
Yeah, that they.
I mean, we ain't gotta be. We can just be honest.
Okay, like the white folks, they call us that
respect to our brothers and sisters.
Right.
Yeah.
They did that to belittle us, to make us have shame and to make us feel less than what we were. And I think now, as black people, we have become to embrace that word. So instead, we're supposed to be showing each other love, like hey nigga, what's up? That's supposed to, we embracing it, but at the same time, we killing each other over it too, because nigga, you did this, pop, nigga this, nigga that, and it's like it's like a curse. Like the word is a curse. Even though we supposed to, I feel like we supposed to own it and embrace it, but I think we're actually doing what
the word means.
Exactly, by destroying ourselves.
And the crazy thing is, if you look up the word negus, which is Negus, it means king. And I believe it was it's either an Ethiopian or an Egyptian meaning, which that means emperor, king.
Right.
So they flipped it. But I just think that we tried to embrace the word, whether or not, and I'm in the middle ground because I use it. I used to never use it, right? I grew up, and I've had some racial experiences. My father's had some racial experiences. My grandfather has had racial experiences. My grandfather was in the Air Force, served in this country, and he went to a restaurant, and with his uniform on, they said they wouldn't serve him because he was black. They didn't give a damn whether or not he served in this country or not. My father was spit on as a child, as a white man drove in a car and drove off, called him all types of words. And for me, I've had similar incidents where I was spit at, not on, but spit at, told to go back to Africa at night, circling around multiple white guys, spitting at me, calling me the N-word, telling me to go back to Africa. I've had those situations where people have thought that the money that I was giving was fake. I've had situations where a white girl, she was trying to flirt with me, actually, and she came across as very racist. She said, she was like, oh, I used to date a black guy, but his lips were so big that they used to suck my face off. But with you have white boy lips, so your lips would be perfectly fine and suitable to kiss.
Oh,
and I had never met this girl. I had no idea why this girl was talking to me, but she was trying to flirt. I'm like, why would I want to kiss you? You just disrespected my whole race.
Right.
Like, I don't want anything to do with you.
Right. At the end of the day.
At all. You know? And so it's like, you know, you experience these things, but you also, for me, I'm about racial reconciliation. Because to be honest with you, as many racial incidents that I've had in my life, I know that my ancestors faced a lot more. Mm-hmm. But even during their time and in my time, there have been many white men and women who have poured into me, inspired me, given me wisdom, insight, love. And because of that, I respect all people. Really, you know, you can't allow the incidents of a few affect how you see the many. You just can't. It's unfair to do that. Mm-hmm. I understand the experiences that you may face. They are real. They are real. Yeah. They are yours, and they are what happened. And everyone should get healing from that. Therapy.
I still need healing from, because I was in college. I was 20 years old, and I went to Vincennes University in Vincennes, Indiana. And I'm in a car. It was January 28th of 2000, because it was my cousin's birthday. So we went to the liquor store, and
at 20,
yeah, we had fake ID. I know, bad. I know, real bad. But actually, she was 20, because she just turned 22. Yeah. So, anyways. Actually, no, we had a roommate that was 21. Because I stayed in the car. But I'm in the car with two white girls. And all my life, you have white friends. You know, you don't see racism. Like in the 80s, yeah, racism was around us. But as kids, we didn't experience it. Because in the classroom, we still was cool with the white kids and stuff like that, right? But as I got older, and like I said, I'm in college, my second year in school. And all I know is go to the liquor store, come back from the liquor store, and we're at a railroad track, okay? And then there's train on the track, so we can't go nowhere. Right. So I'm in a gray car. I remember this like it was yesterday. And two white guys pull up in a brown, rusty pickup truck, right? Just pulled up next to the car. The guy that was driving the car just kept his hand on the steering wheel and kept his face forward so that I couldn't see his face. But the guy on the passenger side had all his hair shaved off. But
skin hair.
A skin hair, yes. But left a little piece of hair in front of his head. Just a little piece now. But everything else is shaved. And he just did a gesture. He just pointed his finger at me. Looked me dead in my eyes. So he pointed at me. And I'm pointing back at him like, what you pointing at me for? He pointed, and then he just did a gesture. He took his finger and did a gesture over his neck. Wow. Like he go, like a noose, like he gonna hang me. Yes. So the girls in the car screaming, like they're screaming, and I'm like, follow them.
Wait, what?
Yes, I'm telling the girls, because the train, as soon as they did that, the train is up. The train, the last train car, the little bars come up, and then the truck just skirted across the tracks. But I'm in the car with. If I was behind the wheel,
right,
we would have been. I would have been chasing them, because I'm like they doing all that screaming. No, I would just your adrenaline rush, like what the, you know what I'm saying, like what the. No, yeah. So I'm like telling them, follow them, and they were scared. You know what I'm saying? So we got back on campus, and I know we went to the campus police. They didn't do nothing, because the campus police, they were even racist. The school I went to was racist.
What school was it?
It's called Vincennes University.
Vincennes University.
Yeah. And
you said that earlier.
Yeah. And so I still gotta heal from that, because then I go home and tell my family, they didn't believe me. They think I'm crazy. So they had me go get help, and I'm like, no, my life was really threatened. I have witnesses, so it kind of made me, and I'm 20 at this time, so it kind of made me like look at white folks kind of differently, but I still respect them. I'm not gonna be disrespectful towards them. You know what I'm saying? I still got love from them, for them, but at the same time, I keep my distance because, like I said, I never experienced racism as a child. Why did I have to experience it at 20 years old? You know, so that's my little rant.
You know, that's really interesting. That's a really sad situation.
Yeah.
You know, I look at it and I say, honestly, right? To me, and this is where people get into the cliches and everything, but it's fine. I don't care. It's my opinion. My opinion is that it shouldn't necessarily just be about the race. You see, for me, I believe my job is to help as many people as I can. I do want to be able to give opportunities to people who look like me, men and women who look like me, period. But what I also will, yeah, I got you.
Okay.
But what I also will say is that it's about the content of your character.
Yeah.
You know,
I see if I was.
It's really about the content of your character. You know, because you could have people who look like you who can't stand your guts. They hate you.
Yeah.
You know,
exactly.
Who, like it's funny. I remember, and I'm not gonna throw anybody's name under the bus, but there was a reporter who I wanted to kind of be my mentor in this news reporting space. And he was a man of color. He was a black man. And nothing. Now
That's the worst kind, though.
Now he did give me an opportunity. Well, I'm not going to say
some
what
of
he
them.
did or did. I'm not going to say what he did or didn't do. But what I will say is that I got a chance to interview Mark Zanetto, who was a fellow reporter, he's a comedian, he's a businessman, he's a good dude, good man, one of the best men I know. And it's funny because me and him, he's actually, I don't want to put his business out there, but he's an atheist Jew. But he's somebody who I can call a friend, because even though we might not agree religiously, he's a man who saw something in me, and he gave me an opportunity to have a show on Believe Podcast where I talked about HBCU sports. He gave me an opportunity. He kind of mentored me early in my space when I was looking for a man of color, a black man, to mentor me. And it really became a white man who I call my friend. So I just think it's more so about the content of the character and the heart of the man, the spirit of the man or woman. And so when it comes to race, I think it's a complex thing. I think you should always look out for people who look like you, period, and you should give opportunities. But I also think, you know, you should help out people who you feel led to. You know, you should help out people who, you know, because there are people who don't look like you who
do more than those who look like you. Yeah.
Tony Hermaine,
for sure.
It's another person who, and I'll let you speak. I'm sorry. I just want to put this out there. Anthony Hermaine was my boss at UNCG when I was like an intern. Actually, I wasn't an intern. I actually started an internship at UNCG. But basically, he was someone who taught me how to film games. He taught me how to do graphics. He was someone also who I will never forget. He's somebody who, Chris Laporte, is another person who gave me a chance to interview him. He's the first coach I've ever interviewed. The first coach I ever interviewed was a white man from UNCG. He's now an assistant coach at Cincinnati men's basketball team. So shout out to them. They're, you know, it's really about who the people are. It's not just necessarily about the race, but I do think race matters. I think race is important, but I also think what's also important is the heart, the character of who you want to be associated with. Because there's beauty in all colors, there's beauty in all shades, and there's beauty in all people. And I believe you should recognize all of it. Amen. Black, white, Hispanic, Asian, whatever. You know?
Right.
You know?
You're right.
So, My next topic, just gonna get a little steamy. Because I gotta keep it slight because we gotta end around 7:50 or 7:45 right now. We're at 7:45 ish. I want to talk about this Will Smith thing. This is interesting because it's
with his relationship with Jada.
Yeah, it's
they open marriage.
Kevin Samuels has talked about it, and I know some people don't always like Kevin Samuels, and I look at Kevin Samuels as someone who is someone who's on about black male image, someone who challenges black men. I don't always listen to the stuff where he talks about with women because I listen to it, but it's not really my. I don't feel like I have to listen to all that. I just would rather listen to the men's stuff. But when he talked about this Will Smith and Jada thing, one of the things that they'll say, and it's interesting too because Craig Scott was friends with Jada in high school, and to me, I look at Will Smith. Will Smith is somebody who, outside of his relationship and fatherhood, he's someone who is one of the most gifted and most charismatic individuals in the entertainment space in history, in my opinion. Will Smith was the first rapper to win a Grammy. Actually, he's the first one. It wasn't Biggie. It wasn't Tupac. It wasn't Big Daddy Kane, Rakim, KRS-One. It was the Fresh Prince and DJ. It was DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince. That's who it was. When I look at the open thing, and he said it clear, which is I'm glad that Will Smith did this. What he did say, and some people will say, well, why didn't he try to stand on and say, well, everyone should follow this way? Because he is someone who is, in my opinion, a good man. Even when people say, oh, this whole open thing, I don't believe he personally wanted to do it at first. I believe it was Jada's, because I believe when you don't have a strong father in your home, right? To me, this is not all on Jada. I believe that whole situation with August Alsina was an embarrassing one for all of them. And I believe that they did have an open marriage, and that's fine if they want to have an open marriage, right? But what I also believe is that we need to, in society, respect monogamy more, And that goes on both sides, for men and women. I'm tired of hearing stories about pastors and leaders and entrepreneurs or whatever. They're just constantly like cheating on their wives, and I don't want to be on a high horse, right? Because obviously, when you're in those spaces, it can be tough.
Yeah. To
stay faithful, especially.
But I think
if you're always on the move. Go ahead.
I think Will was cheating on Jada first, and I just think, yeah, hell yeah, yes, I think she was faithful until because I think because you know how Jada is. Jada's one of them. She's like your home girl. That's Tupac's best friend.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
what I'm saying. So she got that.
First love.
Yeah, oh yeah, he probably did break her virginity and all that. Of course. I believe that, but to me, Jada's one of them, like, around the way girls, like, she's beautiful, okay. Like, you know what I'm saying, like, like, she's faithful to the one that's gonna be faithful to her, and I feel like Will Smith was doing all that cheating, and no, Lord knows how many times it just didn't make it to the media. But I think Jada finally got fed up and was like, fuck that. You know who the hell I am? Do you know who I am? And you gonna do this to me? What? But I ain't putting your business out there, so I'm gonna do what I wanna do because you did it to me more than probably 10 times. This probably Jada's first time ever cheating on her husband.
I don't think so. I
think it's her first time ever. Period. I think she was devoted to him.
I think you're giving her a lot.
No, because Jada don't seem like the type to. She don't seem like the type that she gonna. That's Will Smith. Everybody want Will Smith. Everybody want Jada Pinkett. But I don't think she was out there like that.
I don't know.
I don't know. Will was doing a lot of sneaky shit behind her back, and she got fed up and was like, I'm finna get my rock. I've been with this dude for how long? And I haven't stepped out. I have not tiptoed outside my marriage, and I've been with him this long, and I still look good. You think I'm not going to take the advances of especially a younger man?
Okay,
come on now. I love Jada. That's my girl.
Hey, look, I'm gonna be honest. Like, for me, I only can speak on the facts on what's presented. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I can't look and be like, for me personally, like I hear what you're saying.
You hear me? You know Will was out there.
But like, I don't know who started what. What I do know is that Will Smith has talked openly about how the fact that he was jealous of Tupac and Jada's relationship. How he didn't even really want to see Tupac when Tupac was alive. You know what I'm saying? So,
but that's his best friend.
There's something there. There was something there with that. I don't know.
Yeah. I bet Tupac didn't care for Will Smith neither.
That's fine.
You know what I'm saying? I think Will and Tupac had a platonic relationship. I think they were dating. I think they broke each other's virginities. I think that they were in love with one another until they got to their fame. I mean, but at the end of the day, if Tupac was alive, Jada would have married Tupac. She would have married Tupac.
And
maybe she could have, she should have, and he'd probably still be alive today.
But you know what? To be honest with you, I don't think many people know this. I think Tupac was supposed to be in Independence Day
instead of Will Smith.
Yeah, but I think Will Smith. I'm not sure. I think Will
so.
Smith
It probably would have been Tupac and Jada instead of Will Smith and what's my girl from South Bend, Indiana, Vivica Fox. Wasn't she in Independence Day?
Vivica Fox was.
Yeah. So it probably would have been Jada and Tupac.
My thing is this though, right? Will Smith is on another level, and for one, I like both. When it comes to acting chops, I'm not actually sure. From a looks department, Jada Pinkett to me was one of the most finest women in the 90s. All right. Now, some people might have said she didn't have the body and all this other jazz. Okay, cool, whatever.
What you mean she had a body?
You know, I'm saying like
the cha-chas.
I ain't gonna say what.
Cause she had a beautiful body now.
But to me, like her face, like to me, she is, but she was then. You know what I'm saying? I'm just being honest. Back in the 90s, she was, to me, when it comes to women, she's right there with Halle Berry, if not better. You know what I'm saying? But you're talking to a guy who thinks Robin Givens is right there with Halle Berry. But anyway,
yeah, she's beautiful too.
I think when it comes to that, I just think we just gotta. What's wrong with monogamy? That's my thing. I just believe in monogamy. That's the traditionalist in me. But when it comes to Will Smith and Jada, I think when it comes to Jada Pinkett's acting chops, she was someone in the 90s who was a really good actress. Yeah, she might not have had the same amount of fame that Will Smith had. That's a fact. In the 90s, period, or even now. But I just think the whole situation, when it comes to all of this, I'm just glad what he said was, what he said to me was key. What he said, hey, I would not recommend this lifestyle for anyone. And I feel like at the end of the day, they hurt each other. This wasn't a thing where it was
the
like
blame game.
Who did what and all this. So for me, I'm not gonna. So I think when it comes to that, because I don't want to get too into people's business too much, but I am talking about it. I just think overall, when it comes to this, I think they hurt each other. And I think for some reason they've stayed together. I don't know why they've stayed together, but for some reason they've wanted to stay together and work this thing out.
Because if you divorce Will Smith, Jada getting all. So it's better to
you saying Jada getting all.
She get all of it. You know what I'm saying? Like spousal, all that. Because Will probably got more than she has.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You know what I'm saying? So what's the point of getting divorced when?
So you're saying it's an economic move?
I think so. It's cheaper to keep her.
It's cheaper to keep her.
Yeah, than to lose her, because she could, just like Michael Jordan's wife.
Yeah, but he bounced back though. You know what I'm saying?
But still,
like I mean, I get what you're saying.
You know what I'm saying?
But like, she got like 250, right?
She got some money.
She got 250, which is a lot.
Yeah.
But he done went and got a bill like right after that. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I get it, but
so it's like,
but don't she still?
No,
he don't support her no more.
She got 250.
But was that like a yearly or just that one lump sum?
It was like 250.
Then she don't got no other endorsements. Like
what's your endorsement? She play ball? I don't understand.
I mean, no. But they were married.
She got 250. Like that's it.
That
was a huge. That's it. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. No. That's a lot.
Yeah, that is.
Sweating right now. Golly. I'm in some water.
He is sweating, y'all, for real.
I ain't my money. I'm like, that's it. Oh, okay. Lord, no. But not like, I just think, I just hope the best for them because I don't really, when it comes to the politics, I don't really care about the politics, whether they're right or left. For me, I look at both of them as great entertainers, and I'm really glad what Will Smith said. Whether or not they're open, I believe in monogamy. I'm not going to hate anyone who does things differently. Okay, I just think that people have to. I feel like there's some people
appreciate
that
each other.
You know what I'm saying? Monogamy.
Have respect, some loyalty, some dignity, and self-control.
That's what I think.
And communication. Like, if you don't like something that I'm doing, we got to communicate about that.
Yeah.
You know. But I think they'll bounce back from it.
Yeah.
And then maybe start producing their own shows and stuff, and maybe have a talk show. I mean, they got their little red.
Love Is that movie. If y'all haven't seen the TV show Love Is, I think it was on the Oprah Network. Mm-hmm. That show was really good. They canceled it because I guess he did something back in the day. But there was a show called Love Is
with Jada and Will producing.
No, it was with the director of Love and Basketball, I believe.
Oh, okay.
It was a love story about her and her husband, who Gina. I think her name is Gina Blylith or something like that. But
I have to look that up.
I would have to look it up because it's really bad that I forgot the name. But stories like that, I think, would be interesting. But I would just say for them, I'm just so, as an actor and actress, both of them are incredible, and I cannot wait to see what they do from an entertainment perspective from what they put out. I don't really care about the politics, but I'm glad that Will said what he said. My last topic that I kind of want to address is and this kind of ties into the other relationship part, but I was actually at a job. I have a couple of jobs. One of them is being a manager at a restaurant, and I was actually I was serving a man and a woman to a black couple. And the man came in, and the woman came in. And I'm going to tell you what, like I was telling Mel, like she came in fiery, right? And he came in, he was like, hey, do you guys serve bacon wrap? And I'm like, oh, no, sir. And this was Little Caesars. This is one of my jobs, Little Caesars. I'm a field director, connect dots, work at Urban Community Strategies, and I'm a manager at Little Caesars. So he comes in, he's like, y'all serve bacon wrap? I'm like, oh, no, sir, we got bacon deep dish. And she's like, see, Negro, you don't know what you dumb. You know what I'm talking about? No bacon wrap. I'm like, oh, okay, this woman, she's kind of being aggressive, kind of masculine. That's probably offensive what I just said, but she's coming out.
Being ratchet. I said I'm a female. She was being ratchet.
Okay, yeah, all right, you're right, not masculine. That's
ratchet.
Offensive. I'm going to scratch that,
Ratchet.
All right, ratchet, right? And then... So then she comes, and then she's like, give me the money. Give him the money. And he's looking through his pockets. And he can't find the money. He's like, Negro, you ain't got the money. What's wrong with you, right? And there was a 17-year-old kid there. He looked around the room. He tried to laugh. I laughed a little bit. Thank God for the mask, because they would have seen me laugh. And then the next thing she said was, the next thing I said was that this is the total, whatnot. And then I asked them what the name was for the order, and she was like, Denise. And I almost busted out laughing. You know, we as men and women, we have to do a better job of communicating, of respecting each other. Because that was disrespect. You know, I got 3 minutes to talk.
At the end of the day, it was.
We have to respect each other as men and women. We as a woman, and let's be honest, men and women, we both have masculine and feminine tendencies. So yeah, she came in real masculine because women have masculine tendencies just like men have feminine tendencies. I'm okay with saying that. That's just the facts. If people don't like it, that's the facts. Period. I don't care. But she came in, disrespected the man in public. And what needs to be happen, whether you're male or female, is we need to love each other again.
Amen.
We need to communicate with each other again. What happened to that in our culture, in our people in this country, and all that? Just because we don't need to take everything that we see from television, from actors, from reports or newspapers or magazines or any of this stuff to say there's too much divisiveness going on in this country. And we have to do a better job of working together, because when we work together, when men and women work together, beautiful stuff happens. Beautiful things happen. And I cannot wait to see something like that happen for you. Hope the best for you guys. But that's all for the conversation with Tim McKain. Thank y'all. Hope to see y'all again next week. And y'all have a lovely, lovely, lovely night. Peace, y'all.